In April 2026, a single company has quietly become the invisible hand of the Western world. It doesn't make your phone, it doesn't deliver your groceries, and it certainly doesn't want to be your friend. But if you've had a life-saving surgery in London, tracked a package through a global port, or seen a high-precision strike on a modern battlefield, you've likely interacted with Palantir. By the second quarter of 2026, Palantir Technologies has reached a staggering $336 billion market cap, cementing its position not just as a software firm, but as the first AI monopoly. While the world was distracted by chatbots that write poetry, CEO Alex Karp was building a digital leviathan that now runs the internal intelligence for the UK's financial watchdog and the entire data backbone of the NHS. But as Palantir's power scales, so does a global sense of dread. From doctors in London boycotting their own hospitals, to investors like Michael Burry questioning the sustainability of their people-heavy model, the world is starting to ask, have we handed the keys to our civilization to a company we don't fully understand? This is the investigation into why the world is terrified of Palantir. To understand the fear, you have to look at how Palantir actually works. Unlike Google, which organizes the world's public information, Palantir organizes a nation's private secrets. Their AIP, or artificial intelligence platform, isn't a generic tool. It's a surgical instrument that connects disconnected silos of sensitive data. In the UK, this has sparked a literal internal war within the National Health Service. In April 2026, reports surfaced that Palantir engineers were given internal NHS email accounts and access to directory details for 1.5 million staff members. Doctors are sounding the alarm, fearing that a company famous for its spy tech and war technology is now too deeply embedded in the most intimate parts of public life. One resident doctor put it bluntly, "I don't want my personal contact details accessible to someone who might be working on drone strike systems next month." But for Alex Karp, this isn't a bug, it's the feature. Karp, a PhD in social theory with a penchant for blunt, often jarring honesty, has spent 2026 doubling down on his West-first philosophy. At the World Economic Forum, he issued a chilling warning: the white-collar world is being liquidated. Karp argues that in this new AI era, only two types of people will thrive: vocational trade workers and the neurodivergent. He isn't just predicting the future, he is building the tools that make that future inevitable. Palantir's Foundry platform has already shown it can streamline hospital intake and cancer diagnoses by up to 15%. But it does so by automating the very humanities-based analysis that Karp says is now obsolete. This creates the ultimate corporate moat, a monopoly not just on software, but on operational efficiency itself. If you're a massive organization like Stellantis, which just renewed its multi-year partnership with Palantir in late March 2026, you aren't just buying a product. You are moving your entire company's brain onto Palantir's architecture. Once you're in, leaving becomes almost impossible. The switching cost is total institutional paralysis. This is why investors are both obsessed and terrified. While the stock has seen a 90% gain over the last year, it recently took a 7.3% dive on April 9, 2026. The market is starting to realize that Palantir's growth model is unique and potentially fragile. They rely on forward-deployed engineers, elite coders who sit inside a client's office to manually integrate the software. Critics ask, can this bespoke model truly scale to be the OS of the world, or will it eventually collapse under its own weight? Meanwhile, competition is heating up from unexpected places. Anthropic is now deploying cheaper, agent-based AI tools that threaten to hollow out Palantir's high-priced commercial contracts. But Palantir isn't flinching. In March 2026, they secured a new contract with the Financial Conduct Authority to hunt for insider trading and money laundering. They are moving into the watchdog space, becoming the judge and jury of global finance. The fear isn't just about privacy. It's about a single private entity owning the logic of how governments make decisions. If Palantir's algorithms decide who gets surgery, who gets investigated for fraud, and who is targeted on a battlefield, where does human accountability go? Alex Karp's response is typical of his provocateur persona. AI actually bolsters civil liberties by making every decision transparent and traceable. He claims Palantir can show exactly why a patient was rejected or a target was chosen, removing human bias from the equation. But for the town of bent necks, the people living in the shadow of this data giant, the transparency feels more like total surveillance. The business lesson of Palantir is a warning for the next decade of industry. The most valuable asset in 2026 isn't the AI model, it's the ontology. Whoever defines how a company's data is structured owns that company's future. Palantir has spent 20 years building the most sophisticated mop for the world's messy data, and now they are using it to clean up. As we move toward the end of 2026, the question remains, is Palantir the shield that protects the West from chaos? Or are we building a system so complex that only one company knows how to turn it off? If you want to understand the companies that truly run your world, you need to stay tuned to Corporate Case Files. Hit that subscribe button to keep your eyes on the data. And let us know in the comments, does Alex Karp's vision of an AI-driven trade economy excite you? Or does it make you want to go off-grid?